So students, now we are going to study a program to convert an infix expression to postfix expression using stacks. Okay. So before you study this program, make sure you have understood this algorithm for the conversion properly. Okay. Once you have understood the algorithm, then only proceed to study this program. This program is based on the algorithm that I have already taught you. Okay. So study that algorithm and then proceed to learn this program. So we have defined some of the header files that we need here. We define our stack size here. So I have just defined the stack size as 50. You could have defined a lesser value or a bigger value. Then I define here the structure needed for the stack. Okay. So your structure of the stack is having two members, the data array. So your stack will be represented by an array. Name of that array is data. So it will start at index 0, go all the way to 50. So your array size is 50 because I have defined the max as 50. Okay. So the max size is 50. Then I am using a pointer top. This pointer top will be pointing to the topmost array or your topmost stack element. If you see here, I have used one keyword type def. What does type def stand for? Type def is used to reduce the use of this keyword struct. For example, you can take this one function here, say take this function init function. I have declared it, if you see here, using just the structure name. The name of the structure is stack. The moment I use this keyword type def, I need not define it like this. I can avoid defining it like this. Okay, you can see here what is got eliminated. This keyword has got eliminated. So just because I put this type def keyword, I did not use the structure keyword anymore. So in all these places here, it has helped me in not putting that keyword struct. Or in all these places I would have to use the keyword struct. Also when I define variables, I need not use this keyword struct. So that is the use of type def. Okay, I hope you understood. These are just basics, so you should be knowing it. So let me draw the stack and keep it for us. We have already defined the stack. Okay. Although it will go all the way till 50, let's just define right now only this so much. If we need more stack, then we will extend it. Okay. So these are all the functions that we are going to use for our program. Before we look at all the functions, let's look at the main program. In the main program, I have defined two arrays, infix and postfix. So the infix array will be storing our input in infix form, and our postfix array will be storing the output in postfix form. So the infix is for input and the postfix array is for the output. In the next step, I take the input from the user. So the user has to enter a valid input expression, a valid infix expression. The program is not checking if the expression is a valid infix expression. So care should be taken to enter a valid infix expression. So suppose the user enters the expression as a plus b minus c. Okay. So it will be stored in this infix array. Suppose this is your infix array. Let me draw the array here. I am having a opening parenthesis a plus b minus c. These are your array indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and it continues all the way till 30 because the size of your array is 30. Okay, so this is your infix array. Infix array. In the same manner, we are having a postfix array. So postfix array will be storing your output. Okay, and this also will continue all the way till, sorry, it will not be 30, it will be 29 because we are starting from 0. So it will go on till 29. Okay, so 0 to 29 is 30 if you count it. So once we have taken the input here, I call the infix to postfix function. This function here will perform the conversion. It will apply the algorithm that I have already taught you. Once I have converted the expression, I will print it using this statement here, using this printf statement. So the converted statement will be the converted expression will be printed using this. Okay. So let's go through all these functions that we need one by one. This is our postfix array. This is our infix array. This is our postfix array. Okay. Infix array will contain the input that we already have now, and postfix array will contain the output in postfix form. Okay. So let's trace this program. Let's start from here. I have called a function infix to postfix. Okay. So before we go to that function, let's look at all these functions that we have defined before it. Okay. So the first function that we will check is the init function. What does the init function do? It will initialize my top of the stack as equal to -1. So this is my top of the stack, the variable top. It will initialize to -1. Okay. Then the next function that we have is it will check whether the stack is empty. If the stack is empty, then it will return. When is the stack empty? When the value of top is equal to -1. As you can see here, now the stack is empty, nothing is there. So when nothing is there, what is the value of top? Value of top is -1. So here we will check if top is equal to -1. That means what? That means stack is empty. Value of top is. So if the value of top is -1, we will return the value as 1. And if the stack is not empty, we will return the value as 0. If it is not empty, then we will return the value as 0. Same way, we will check for stack full. So stack full, if the stack is full, then value of top will be equal to max -1, and we will return the value as 1. So this is if stack is full. And if the stack is not full, we will return the value as 0. That means stack is not full. So let's look at the push and the pop functions. If you are pushing an item on the stack, what we do? What are the two steps? First, we increment the value of the top. So we increment it by 1. So for example, if you are pushing some value, say 10, okay, x value is 10. What we will do? Increment your top value by 1. When you increment your top value by 1, -1 plus 1 will become equal to 0. So your top will be here. Okay, top value will be equal to 0. How 0? Top value was -1, you are incrementing it by +1, so -1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so where is now top pointing? To array index 0. So where is this 10 going to get stored? 10 is going to get stored in the array at index 0. At index 0. So 10 will get stored here. Okay, so this is how your push works. So if I want to push another value 20, top will point to, will have the index value 1. It will be incremented by 1, and then 20 will be stored here. Okay, and so on. This is how your push function works. So now let's look at how the pop function works. What does the pop do? It deletes element from the stack. So when I want to delete something, what will I do? First extract the value from where top is pointing. Where top is at index 0. So at index 0, what is the value? 10. So I will extract that value, I will remove that value, and I will store it in the variable x. So what is the value at this? Value is 10. Now I will extract it and store it in x. So value of x is 10. Once I extract it, what will I do to top? I will decrement top. So when I decrement top, programming for it is like this. Top will be decremented by 1. So value of top will become, it will change from this value, and top will become equal to -1. If you see, the stack is now currently empty. So what is the value of top? Value of top is equal to -1. Got it? And after we have decremented, whatever value we had extracted, that value we will return. So in this case, we will return the value of x as 10. Okay? This is how pop works. Now, one more function that we require is precedence function. If you remember, I taught you the precedence that dollar, which is the exponent, is having the highest priority, followed by the division sign and the multiply sign is having the next highest priority. You can also add the modulus operator here. Then plus and minus have a lower priority, and the lowest priority is by the opening parenthesis or the closing parenthesis. So this is the priority chart. This is the highest, this is the lowest. So that this table priority has been programmed in this precedence function. Okay, if you see here, opening parenthesis has been set the lowest priority, it is given the value 0. Okay, because it is having the lowest. Closing parenthesis we have not included there, it's not needed. But if you want, you could always put a OR statement here and say closing parenthesis. Okay, if you have studied the algorithm carefully, you will know that this statement here is not needed. Okay, so I will not explain you why it is not needed. You should know it by now. Okay, why it is not needed? Because postfix expression does not need a closing parenthesis or opening parenthesis. Therefore, its priority has been set to 0. And we discard these brackets. The opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis are discarded. Next, lowest priority is shared by plus and minus. So next we check if plus and minus is there as the operator, the priority is 1. A little higher priority than the plus and the minus is division, multiplication or the modulus. So you can see here, if it is multiplication, division or the modulus, you are giving the priority as 2. 2 priority is higher than the priority of plus and minus. Priority for plus and minus is 1. And if it is an exponent, we are setting the priority as 3. Okay. Now this is the advanced way of writing it. If you wanted, you could have written here if x equal to $, then return 3. But that is not required. You could just skip that and write it like this. That means this is for the $. So it is having the highest priority $. What is your $? $? Is the nothing but exponential or the exponent. Okay. So in our programming, $, will be for exponent. So I hope you have understood. This function is nothing but your precedence table. To know this table by heart. Okay. So you have studied this in maths. You are not doing something new. What we are doing new is, because in postfix we are not requiring these brackets, we give them the lowest priority. Okay. In maths we do not give the opening and the closing parenthesis lowest priority, but here we give them lowest priority because we don't need them in postfix expression. Okay. That is the only reason we give them lowest priority. In maths, you still have to follow the same rules that you were taught. Now that we have understood these functions, let's study our actual program, that is our algorithm that is implemented in that function in fix to postfix. Let me draw the stack properly. Just look at your main function here before we proceed. So I hope you have understood all these functions. I will not be going to them again. Okay. Now we are only going to deal with this function infix to postfix, which is our implemented algorithm. So next, after we have got the input, we have stored it in the array here from this line. Okay. We call our infix to postfix function. We pass both these arrays. So we pass the infix array, we pass the postfix array. So we pass this array and we pass this array, and we go to the function. So let's go to the function and see how the algorithm has been implemented. So this is our algorithm that is implemented here. Okay. So the entire algorithm has been implemented. Steps 1 to step 6 has been implemented here inside the for loop. So this is from step 1 to step 6. Step 1 to step 6 of the algorithm has been implemented here inside the for loop, and step 7 is implemented here in the while loop. Okay. Later on I will scroll up and show you the while loop. So right now you just believe me that step 7 is here. Okay. So let's start. I have passed my infix array, which is this one, and my postfix array, which is this one. Right now postfix array is empty, nothing is there in the postfix. This is my postfix array. Okay. Then I declare some variables. Okay, I declare some variables. Integer I will be used to index the infix array, integer j will be used to index the postfix array. I initialize my stack. Okay, that means this is my initialization. I have to initialize the top value equal to -1. So I have already shown you this function. I call the init function and initialize that to top to -1. So once I initialize the top to -1, I start. So I make j equal to 0. Then I start with my for loop. I set my I equal to 0. If you see carefully here, your for loop begins here and it ends here. Okay. I've tried to color code it so that you understand where the loops begin and where it ends. What I do in the first step here, I check whether infix array has reached the end of the string. So this is the end of the string here, somewhere here. Okay. No, it has not reached the end. Okay. Because I is equal to 0. What is infix of I? Just read this statement here. You made I equal to 0. That means infix. Substitute I value is 0. You have just made I value here as 0. Let me write it here. I value is 0. You have already set the j value as 0. Okay. So infix of 0. What is infix? This is your infix array. This is my infix array. What is infix of 0? What is the value? Opening bracket. Is it equal to the null string? What is the null string? /0. Is it equal to that? No, it is not equal. So I come here. Okay. So I store this value. Infix of I. What is I value? 0. So infix of 0. What is that? Opening parenthesis. I store it where? In the variable token. My token is now equal to the opening parenthesis. Okay. Next, I check if my token is a alphanumeric. Okay. So I use an inbuilt function of C is alphanumeric. It's an inbuilt function. It checks whether your input is a letter, it could be capital letter, small letter, or it's a number. If it is any of this, then it returns a value as true. But since your token, this is your token, what is the token? It's a opening parenthesis. It's not alphanumeric. It is not S. Okay. So we do not execute the if statement. We do not execute this. We go to the else. So when we come to the else, we execute this if statement. Is the token an empty parenthesis? Yes, token is an empty parenthesis. So what we do with the empty parenthesis? According to the step tree, we push the empty parenthesis on the stack. So when we push the empty parenthesis on the stack, we increment the top value. Top will be equal to 0, and we push the empty parenthesis on the stack. So now this is your current state. So once we execute this if statement, we do not execute this else statement. Okay. So this entire part comes under the this else. So we do not execute this portion. Okay, got it? So we see from here we come to the for loop. So in the for loop, what happens? I is incremented. So I value now will become equal to 1. I value becomes equal to 1. So now infix of I. What is I? I is 1. So this will become now infix of, will become infix of 1. Okay. So check now. What is infix of 1? Infix of 1 is A. This is your infix. This is your 1. So what is infix of 1? A. Is A not equal to this? Yes, it is not equal to that. So what we do? We store the value of infix of 1. Okay. Infix of I. What is I? I is 1. So infix of 1. Infix of 1 is equal to A. Presently A. We store it in token. So infix of 1 is now A, which is stored in token. So token now value will become A. So once we do that step, next step, we check if the token is alphanumeric. Is it alphanumeric? Is it any of this? Capital letter, small letter? Okay. Now this stands for capital A to Z. Okay, not just A. This stands for capital small A to Z. These are all the numbers from 0 to 9. So is your token alphanumeric, capital A to Z, small a to Z, or a number? Yes, it is alphanumeric. It is true. So we execute this line. So what we do? We take the token value is A, and we put it in the postfix array. Postfix of can see here it is written as postfix j plus plus. So what is the value of j? 0. So we store it like this. Just simplify it for you. Postfix of j. So in that we store the token. So postfix of j, value of j is 0. So in postfix of 0 we store the value of token. What is value of token? A. So we put our A in postfix of 0. So this is our postfix array and the 0 is here. So in that we store the value of token like it is shown here. So once I store the value here, I increment the value of j. I do j plus plus. So value of j will now become equal to 1. Value of j will become equal to 1. Okay. So once I execute the if statement, I will execute the if statement. I do not execute the else. This is not executed. So I go to the for. So that means I come here. I increment the value of I. So I will become now equal to 2. Okay. Now this will become infix of 2. What is infix of 2? It is plus. So now we are having here infix of 2 means plus. So you check here, infix of 2, this is infix of 2, is it not equal to null? Yes, infix of 2 is plus and it is not equal to null. So in the next step, I store infix of 2 in token. Now what is the value of token? Value of token is now plus. Okay. Next, I check if the token is a alphanumeric. Is it any of this? Is it capital A to Z, small a to Z, or the numbers from 0 to 9? Is it any of this? No. It's not a token. So I do not execute this line. Okay. Since it's not a token, I do not execute this portion, this line. So I come to the else part. I check if the token is a opening bracket. Is it an opening bracket? No. So I go to the else part here. Is the token a closing bracket? No, it's not a closing bracket. So I do not execute these lines. I come here. Okay. This portion of the code deals with an operator. So I check here. Precedence of the token. What is the precedence of the token? Okay. Token is plus. What is the precedence of the token? So if you remember, we have set a precedence function here. Precedence of plus is how much? Precedence of plus is, here you can see, precedence of plus is set as 1. Okay. So I return the value here as 1. Got it? Okay. So I return the value of precedence of plus as 1. Here precedence of the token is plus, and the precedence of that is 1. Okay, what is the precedence of the top of the stack? I told you precedence of the opening parenthesis is 0. If the precedence of 1 is less than or equal to precedence of this, precedence of token is plus, precedence is 1. Precedence of top of the stack, this function gives you the top of the stack. What is the top of the stack? Opening parenthesis. What is the opening parenthesis precedence value? 0. Okay, you can look at the precedence function again if you don't believe me. So you check this condition. Is 1 less than or equal to 0? No, do not execute this. Okay, that means you will come here and what you do? Push the token on the stack. So what is your token? Plus. So when you are pushing your token on the stack, increment your top value. Top value will be incremented and write it here. Top value is now 1. And you push your operator on the stack. So your token is pushed on the stack, that is plus. So once you push it, you come here. Okay. So you come to the for loop and this is your for loop here. So you come back here and you do I plus plus. When you do I plus plus, this value increments and you will get I as value as 3. So now what is that infix of tree? Infix of tree now you are having as B. So again check this. Is it not equal to null? What is infix of? This is now infix of tree. I value is 3. What is that infix of tree? We have just said infix of tree is B. Okay. So here you check. It's not equal to null. So you store the value in token. So what is the infix of tree? That value will store in token. Okay. Now I will do it a little bit more directly. I think you have got the technique. Next, you check whether the token is a alphanumeric. Is it a alphanumeric? Is it a alphabet or a number? Yes, it is a alphabet or a number. So in that case, what we do? We store the token, that is our token is B, in the output array. We store it here in the output array and then we increase the value of J. So J value will change from 1 to 2. J will become 2. Okay, because of this step. So since we have done the if part, else part is not executed. This entire else part is not executed. So we come to the for loop. Okay, so that means we come here and increase the value of I. When you increase the value of I, you will get I as 4. Okay. Now you check infix of 4. What is that? Infix of 4. What is the infix of 4? Infix of 4 is having the value now as a closing parenthesis. Okay. Closing parenthesis. So is it not equal to null? Yes, it is not equal to null. So you store that value in token. So you store the value in token. So infix of 4, store it in the token. Next, you check if it's the token is alphanumeric. Is it alphanumeric? No, it is not true. So we do not execute this line. We come to the else part. Okay, inside else, check the if. Is the token a opening bracket? No, so do not execute this. Come to the else part. Is the token a closing bracket? yes, it's a closing bracket. So this is true. Okay, token is a closing bracket. So what you do? You perform the step 5 of your algorithm. So when you perform step 5, what you do? Till you don't find the opening bracket, you keep on popping. Whatever you pop, you have to add to the output. So we do step 5. What does the step 5 of the algorithm say? Pop till you find the opening bracket. Whatever you pop, add to the output. Okay. So first we'll pop. So when we pop this plus, it will be stored in the variable x. As can be seen here, x. Okay. So then whatever is stored in x will be stored in the postfix, will be added to the postfix array. So what is there in x? Plus. So add it to the postfix array, so we will get here plus. After you add it to the postfix array, increment the value of j. So now j value will become equal to 3. J value will become equal to 3. Okay? It's not over, it's a while loop. So again repeat this, check this. Can you pop again? So what is the value of your top? Top value you have already popped once, so your top value will be here. This is your top. Value is 0. Now again you try to pop. Is it equal to opening bracket or not equal to opening bracket? It is not equal to, it is equal to opening bracket, but you are going to pop it. Okay? When you pop this, we do not put it in x. Remember, you pop it and you store it in x. Sorry, let me rephrase it. You pop that and you store it in x here. Okay? We perform this part of the function first. We pop that opening bracket and we store it in x. After you have popped it, then you check whether it is equal or not equal to opening bracket. Since it's equal to opening bracket, you do not add it to the output. Got it? Let me repeat this step again. So here currently we are having opening bracket here on the stack. So here first what we do? We pop the opening bracket. When you pop the opening bracket, stack will become empty. So top value is equal to -1. So we pop and we store it in x. Okay. After we have done this part of the function, we check whether it is equal or not equal to opening bracket. What is equal or not equal? Value of x. So we check whether value of x is equal or not equal. If it is not equal, then we do this. But since it is equal, we do not perform this step. Okay? So since we have done that else part, since we have done this portion of the code, we do not do the else part. We have done the if part, we do not do the else part. We come here and we continue with our program. Okay? So next, let me wrap up all this. So we have reached the for statement. So we increment the value of I. Value of I now becomes equal to 5. Okay, that means now we are referring to infix 5. What is the infix of 5? The subtract sign. So infix of 5 is now the subtract sign. we store that in the token. Now your token value is the subtract. We check next whether it's alphanumeric. It's not alphanumeric, do not execute this. Come to the else. Inside the else, come to the if. Check if token is opening bracket, not opening bracket, so don't do that. Come to this else. Is it a closing bracket? No, so do not do this. Okay, come here. Now, check. What is the precedence of the token? Precedence of the token is the precedence of the token less than or equal to precedence of the top? No, this statement does not get executed because nothing is there on the top. If nothing is there, then we are also, if you see here, we are checking for the end condition. Stack should not be empty. But since stack is empty, we do not check here. Okay? Since stack is empty, we are checking here whether stack is empty or not empty. But as you can see here, stack is empty. So this condition fails. We do not do that. We come here and we push our token on the stack. So when you push the token on the stack, this value of top will be equal to 0. Okay? Then we come back here to the for loop and we continue. So when you come back to the for loop, value of I is incremented. Now value of I will become equal to 6. The value of I is equal to now 6. What is the value of infix 6? C. Okay. So infix C is your alphabet C. After that, you store that in the token. So now your token contains the letter C. Okay, this is C. Next, check if it's alphanumeric. Is it alphanumeric? Yes. If it's alphanumeric, add it to the output. So you add your token to the output. Okay, here that is your C. And then increase the value of J. So J will be incremented. The value of J will now become equal to 4. So once we have executed this if part, we do not execute this part. Okay? So you go to your for loop again. So when you go to your for loop, increase the value of I. So I value will now become equal to 7. Okay? Check now. What is the infix of 7? Infix of I. Infix of I is infix of 7. What is infix of 7? It is /0. Only if it is not equal to /0, we could enter this for loop. But now it is equal to /0. Now we cannot enter this for loop. Okay? That means steps 1 to 6 are over. So now what is left in the algorithm? The step 7. This is the step 7. What does step 7 of your algorithm state? If the stack is not empty, then pop. The stack is not empty, then you need to pop the stack till it is empty. Okay. This is your step 7. This portion here is your step 7. So still stack is not empty, we are going to pop. So first here we pop the first time and we store in the variable x. So this is your variable x. We pop, what is there on the stack? Minus. We pop it and store it here. Once we pop, value of your top value will be equal to -1 because now stack is empty. Whenever stack is empty, value of top is equal to -1. What we do with this x? Sorry, here x is not -1, x is the subtract what we just popped. This was there on the stack that we have added to x. So we have popped it using this programming here. So we add the value of x, that is a subtract sign, to the postfix array. Okay, using this programming here. So minus gets added to your postfix array, and then you increment the value of j. The value of j will be incremented. It will become now equal to 5. The value of j will be equal to now 5. So it's not the end. Once you have done the pop, again you come here and check. Is the stack empty or no? Yes, now it is empty. So if it is empty, we do not execute these lines. So before we add the function, we add the null string to the postfix array. Now you can see your postfix answer AB plus C minus. The null string is not read. Okay. So we go to our main function. So we go to our main function. Let me clear this. Now we go to our main function. Okay, and we print our postfix array. This is our postfix array having the answer A, B plus C minus. We print the answer and we stop execution. So I hope you have understood the program on infix to postfix expression using stacks. Okay. Happy learning. Thank you for listening.